Ah, Texas, the land where freedom reigns. Unless, of course, that freedom involves reading books, bodily autonomy, or voting without a scavenger's hunt worth of paperwork. That's right, Texas, where they believe in small government, except when they need it to enforce their personal moral panic. And lately that panic has been brewing something really special, a shiny new caste system with a side of deep-fried sanctimony. Now, caste systems, normally you would associate them with old world feudal societies or lines at the DMV, but in Texas, they looked at history and said, you know what, we can do that, but better, with more oil money and fewer exit ramps. Let's break it down, shall we? At the top of this social hierarchy, you've got the holy trinity of conservative security blankets, the ultra-wealthy, the hyper-religious, and the politicians who would rather drown in a pool of their own hypocrisy than admit that markets aren't magic and Jesus never ran a pack. These are the folks who have mastered the art of playing victim while holding the whip, a skill honed through decades of lobbying, gerrymandering, and ensuring that the only trickle-down effect that Texans ever feel is in their flooding trailer parks. Beneath them, the respectable working class, also known as the people we convince to vote against their own best interests. These are the folks that are kept in line with the steady diet of culture war outrage, economic Stockholm syndrome, and the belief that if they just clap hard enough, billionaires will share. Spoiler alert, they won't. Then there's the acceptable, but barely, tier. Minorities who don't cause too much of a fuss. Women, as long as they don't ask too many questions. And the LGBTQ folks, as long as they agree to be the fun sidekick in someone else's narrative. You know, the ones who get just enough table scraps to be told, see, you're part of the dream, while the actual dream is getting bulldozed for a new mega church/gun range. And finally, at the bottom, the unworthy. The people that Texas leadership treats like glitches in the Matrix. The poor, the undocumented, the non-Christian, the progressive-minded souls who dare to suggest that maybe, just maybe, power shouldn't be hoarded like toilet paper during a pandemic. These are the people that the system depends on but refuses to acknowledge, like a Wi-Fi signal you know you paid for but somehow keeps dropping. The brilliance of the system, it runs on fear. Fear of the other. Fear of losing status. Fear of a world where justice isn't just a punchline on a Fox News monologue. And the best part? It's self-sustaining. Because the people most trapped in it are the ones who keep it running. You've got the folks living paycheck to paycheck, voting to keep their own wages low because somewhere along the way, they were convinced that equality is a finite resource. That giving someone else a seat at the table means losing their own. Newsflash, the table is huge, but you've got these guys in suits telling you that the chairs are limited, and somehow you believe them. But here's the thing, Texas and America at large, you don't have to buy into this nonsense. Power structures crumble the moment enough people realize that they're being scammed. The only reason this caste system holds up is because too many people are still looking down instead of looking up. If we stopped punching sideways and started aiming at the genitals of the folks who actually keep the system rigged, well, suddenly those power players aren't quite so untouchable. So Texas, if you ever want to be truly free, not just the we can shoot beer cans in the backyard free, but we actually get a say in how we live kind of free, you might want to start rethinking who you let build your social pyramid. And maybe, just maybe, instead of defending the people at the top, we start questioning why they need you to be afraid in the first place. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a libertarian with trust issues.